Alright, so for the past week, my room has basically looked like a tornado moved in because I've been building out what I'm calling my dream editing desk setup. And now that it's finally done and I've actually used it for a couple of days, I can confidently say this is the best workplace I've ever had. Everything I talk about is linked below if you want to check any of it out. So let's start with the foundation, the desk. I'm using the uplift standing desk with a Saman live edge top, 1.75 inches thick, 60 by 30 with black C-frame legs. And listen, this thing looks absolutely stunning in person. And the height presets are clutch. If I get tired of sitting, I just press a button and it smoothly rises to a standing desk. I also grabbed their bamboo rocker board, which I didn't think I'd use that much, and now I'm standing on it basically every day. Next up, the brain of the operation. I'm running the Mac Studio M2 Ultra with 64 gigabytes of RAM. For the display, I'm rocking the Apple Studio display. And I'll be honest, I hesitated. Like, do I really need to spend this much on a monitor? But after using it for some time, the color accuracy, dynamic range, and the build make it all worth it. For the keyboard, I'm using the EpoMaker Aula 575 Max. This thing is a dream to type on. I mean, listen to how buttery this sounds. It's one of those items where you don't think it matters that much until you switch. And then you're like, okay, yeah, this actually matters. I paired it with the Logitech MX Master 3S mouse. I switched from the Apple mouse and I'm glad I did. This just feels better in the hand and it has better ergonomics. Both of those sit on this gray felt pad that balances the wood perfectly. For audio, I'm using the Edifier R1700 Bluetooth speakers. Clean design, warm sound, and they're Bluetooth. They sit on these uplift clamp-on shelves which keep everything feeling organized and intentional. When I need to be quiet or I'm mixing audio, I switch to the Beyerdynamic DT770 Pros. These are very trusted headphones for sound design and music, and I highly recommend them. And when I'm not using them, they hang on this walnut stand that also holds a pen, because aesthetics. And now, my sleeper pick, the BenQ screen bar. I used to think that these things were super unnecessary, like, why would a monitor need a lamp? But after using it, I can't edit without it. It lights up the desk perfectly without lighting up the monitor. Plus, this little control dial is actually really satisfying to use. You can adjust the color temperature and brightness just like this. For voiceovers, I'm using the Rode Pod mic on an Elgato Wavearm. It swings out smoothly when I need it and then tucks away clean when I don't. And that uses an XLR cable which runs into my Focusrite Scarlett Solo interface. One of my favorite audio interfaces I've ever used. All of that sits on this wooden shelf that I actually built with a friend. It was super simple to make and we followed this YouTube video which I'm gonna link below. We made a little compartment underneath where I keep my hard drives and room for a notebook. And on the other side, I put a sliding tray for extra storage. Above the monitor, I installed two 36-inch black shelves. I wanted them to reflect me, not just random decor. So up there, I've got my Mega Charizard EX card in Japanese. Next to it is a Shohei Ohtani card. In the center is a disassembled Canon camera art piece by Funbox Design. This is one of the most unique items I've bought, and I just love the way that it stands out on the shelf. Beside that is my Pocket Retro. Anytime I have long render times or I just need a quick break, I'll play some Street Fighter and still never beat the boss. At the end is my favorite Insta360 camera, the Minions Edition Go 2. This was actually a special edition camera that they released, and I just think it's one of the most cool little cameras. Above those are some limited edition Everlast and Ruka boxing gloves. Then we have Mando and Baby Yoda because Star Wars is legendary and who doesn't love Grogu? Beside that is a fake plant, and then my favorite superhero, Lego Batman. Everything on these shelves feels intentional and personal, not like a random shelf from Pinterest. Zooming out, I painted the main wall with Sherwin-Williams Black of Night in flat. I wanted a bold contrast with the warm wood, and this color delivered. On the other wall, I installed walnut acoustic panels. 8 of them in total. Pretty easy to install except for the outlet area, which luckily I had a friend to help me with. Centered on that wall are 3 16x24 black and white prints in a matte finish, and each of these photos has a story behind them, and maybe I'll share them one day in a future video. Above them, I installed a warm LED strip inside an aluminum channel to diffuse the light. There's also a light strip behind the desk for that soft glow. So yeah, that's the full setup. I spent a ton of time planning all of this, measuring everything twice, and figuring out what actually fits my workflow. And I'm really proud of how it turned out. It feels like a place that I want to create in every single day. I'll definitely keep adding things to it, tweaking things, upgrading where it makes sense, because a setup is never truly done. Everything I mentioned is linked below, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you have any questions, I'll try to answer all of them. Thanks again for watching, and as always, subscribe for more. I got more content coming, and until next time, aloha.